Okay, get yourself ready for your afternoon practice. So get a folded blanket from underneath your head, a bolster from underneath your knees if you have one. If you haven't, then you can use some cushions underneath your knees and a couple of blocks for underneath your feet. So remember that this practice is a practice of relaxation and not deep extension. So the whole point of this practice is to allow yourself to relax. So you need a couple of things for that. You need comfort, which is why we use all of the equipment. You need warmth, which is why we're going to cover ourselves up. If you're going to be cold, obviously it depends on your ambient temperature, and darkness. So comfort, warmth, and darkness. So just observe the feeling as you lay back onto the ground. Let the muscles relax. Allow body to completely release into the floor. You can cover your eyes for darkness if you find the light in the room distracting. So just enjoy these first few moments of deep release. If there's any discomfort, then adjust your position. Otherwise, just allow yourself to release into the floor. Scan the body from the feet to the shins, to the thighs, and observe for areas of the physical body that present resistance. Push your out breath into areas of resistance and aim to let go beyond the resistance. Draw your attention into the soles of the feet until they tingle with consciousness, until the flesh and the muscle and the skin tingles with awareness. Relax the soles of your feet. Relax the soles of your feet and draw your attention to the tops of your feet. Relax the tops of the feet and then allow the shins to draw your attention to the shins and to the thighs and allow them to sink into the floor. Relax your legs, allow the legs to just release into the bolster and into the blocks. Draw your attention into the abdomen and the pelvis and the rib cage. Allow the abdomen and the chest to completely relax, just spreading out across the floor. Draw your attention into your shoulders and into the upper arms and into the forearms. Relax the upper body into the floor, relax the arms into the floor. Release into the arms and into the hands, just letting your arms and the backs of your hands rest into the floor. Draw your attention into the neck and into the head, just being conscious of the energy around the chest and the head and the forehead. Relax the facial muscles, soften the face, soften the jaw and the tongue and the throat. Allow the body to just melt into the floor, just this really pleasant release into the ground. Just enjoying this feeling of complete relaxation. Just be satisfied to sit or lay in this feeling of complete indulgent relaxation. Okay, when you're ready, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bend your knees, have your feet apart and your knees together. Just resting for a moment, resting your back into the floor. And then very gently roll over onto your side and then straighten out the top leg, come back up into seated position, just sitting cross legs or in any comfortable position for a moment. Just listen to the breath, just observe your energy. Okay, we're just going to go into our supported butterfly pose. So have a couple of blocks like this, so one higher, one lower, and then have your bolster on that ramp. So you've got this little ramp to stretch your legs, sorry, to stretch the back across. Then you're going to sit close to the bolster with your feet in and your knees apart like this, and then you guide yourself, lift your chest up and guide yourself down along the bolster. Now this can be strong on hips, so if you need to support the hips, the outer thighs with some blocks or some cushions, then do that. If your head feels like it rolls back, then have a blanket for underneath your head. You can always put a yoga pillow around your over your eyes just to block out the light if you prefer. Your hands resting on the floor, either side of the body, palms facing upwards, and allow yourself to release. Just relax into the position. As you know, as we progress into the sequence, I'll speak less and less, just to let you relax rather than having to listen and respond. ready, just push yourself up into a seated position, and then just stretch your legs out, and then from there we're going to go back onto the block, back onto the bolster. So just let the legs relax in our heart pose. So this feels different, it's very similar. It feels different around the abdomen, feels opener, more open around the abdomen, maybe around the diaphragm. Just feel the front of the body broadening and opening. So this restorative heart pose brings openness to the chest. Helps revive your energy, giving you real good positive energy for the evening. Okay, when you're ready, push yourself up into a seated position. Just come into cross legs or any comfortable position. Just observing your energy, observing the change in your energy. Okay, keep your little bolster ramp as it is, and we're going to come into our child's pose, our supported child's pose. Keep the ramp as it is, just get your blanket, if you've got a blanket handy, fold it up so it's a little thicker, and then we're just going to come along the bolster and then rest the head on one side, let the arms drape down onto the floor. So resting your head on one side, we'll swap that around a little later. Just allow the body to just release into the ramp. So I quite like the child's pose in this position with the little ramp. I think it's nice in the abdomen particularly. So just to let the body release into the bolster. Okay, just swap your head over to the other side. Just rest your head on the bolster on the other side. And just swap the head back to the first side. then just one more time on the other side, just resting your shoulders, releasing into the floor. And then push yourself up into a seated position, just sitting back on your heels. Just take the blanket, but keep the little ramp. Have the folded blanket up from underneath your head, and then we're just gonna lay down on the floor. And if you've got a belt handy, it's always handy. We're just gonna bring our legs up the ramp. So if you've got a belt handy, just tie it up into, just connect it into a loop, and then slip your legs through the loop, and then just sit into the bolster and have the belt around the tops of your legs, just to, it doesn't have to be particularly tight, just to keep them together so that you don't have to hold your legs too much. And then again, just cover yourself over, and then just guide yourself down onto the floor. So your legs just elevated slightly. So the legs elevated in a mini Viparita Karani. Allow yourself to just completely release into the floor. Okay, bend your knees. If you can slip the belt off, then do. If you need to undo it precisely, then do. Then roll onto your right side for a moment. And then stretch out your legs. Just sit yourself back up. Again, just observe your energy. And then just take the bolster away from the little ramp. Have the folded blanket underneath your head. Have the bolster underneath your knees. And then just for the last couple of minutes, we'll just come back down into our basic relaxation pose, our Shavasana with our bolster underneath the knees. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just allow the body to release into the floor. Feel the lightness of energy radiate from the bones and into the muscles, radiating into the organs and into the flesh and the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling evenly down into the toes and into the fingertips and up into the top of the head. need to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster. Have your feet apart and your knees together. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position, just cross legs with your hands in Namaste, your final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this morning, this evening, even a good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the relaxation poses bring to the body and to the mind. Draw your chin down to meet your chest. Observe the positive energy you have created around the heart area, and then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you've really revived your energy and loosened any tension from aching muscles and give yourself a good